Okay, so I'd like to begin this session. Suddenly I'm very loud, aren't I? Is that okay? Is that okay? Everyone okay? So I'd like to begin this session by reading out this quote from Marianne Williamson. There's a lot of wisdom here. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be so brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So it's like self-explanatory, isn't it, really? In the Buddhist way of thinking, they say all beings have the Buddha nature, or William Blake said all things that live are holy. So there's this divine essence within us, and we really have a lot more power than we realise. The conditioning that we all experience can make us feel almost kind of guilty about being joyful. Does anybody ever feel guilty about being happy? Sometimes. Maybe not. Maybe that doesn't resonate. But there is the sense that our true nature is wisdom and compassion, like in our DNA, wisdom and compassion. But what gets in the way of that is our emotional tendencies, especially our reactive emotional tendencies. And just taking it forward, if you're interested in today, like the emotional intelligence, on the website there'll be like a 7-page kind of download, which is the essence of what I've not had time to say today. So remember the 5 elements of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-mastery, and compassion, love, that's one, and motivation and social skills. So the way to put this into operation can be, I like this a lot, is what a Tibetan process called planting white seeds. I think I mentioned it last time. They say that the last 20 minutes before you go to sleep and the first 20 minutes in the morning when you wake up are the most powerful times of the day. They're like what they call a bardo, a space. So if you spend the last 20 minutes watching the news, you could have a sleepless night worrying about other people in other countries, and then the next day you could feel like a wreck. But if the last 20 minutes is even, you could put your hands on your heart, left hand and right hand on top, may I be well, may I be safe, and then maybe even just sending out kindness to all of the people you love, then you could have really deep sleep. Then you could really... So if you have really deep sleep, there's this kind of chemical that goes through your brain, washing away traumatic memory. But it's only when you sleep very deeply. So this last 20 minutes or 30, it's roughly 20, 30 minutes, is very significant. So the emotional intelligence could be, just breathing in affectionately, may I be kind. And breathing out kindness to people you love. What's wrong with that? But then you're taking in love and you're giving out love through the heart. You're opening. Energy follows focus. If you put your hands on your heart, or one hand on your heart as you're falling asleep, you're increasing the focus on your heart chakra, your ability to open to the universe in love and trust. So in some branches of Taoism, like coming to the morning thing, when you wake up in the morning the first 20 minutes, in some branches of Taoism they have this incredible, the question, do I open up to the universe in love and trust and gratitude, or do I close down in fear and doubt and self-criticism? So which do you choose? So it's almost you could, and I suggest like rotating crops in the garden of your mind. So between now and Christmas, it could be 1 week in the morning, today I choose to be joyful because it's good for my health. Then the next week, today I choose to be kind because it's good for my health. Then the next week, so we're Westerners, we easily get bored. So after 6 weeks, you're rotating and you're coming back to the first. And these aren't like affirmations. These are like self-hypnosis. You're planting seeds in the garden of the mind. Like Marianne Williamson is saying, don't be afraid of your light. You're encouraging yourself to be the person that you were born to be, your true self. Today I choose, remember the big difference when you're all of the reactive emotions, you're on autopilot when you don't have a choice. And the choiceful self is your true self. So today I choose to be kind because it's good for my health. That could echo through the day. Like, am I being kind? So I think that'll be on the website. So this rotation in the garden of the mind of these 6: courage, calmness, kindness, compassion, joy, and gratitude. And these are building up your true self. So it's not about destroying bad things. It's about if you create more good things, you're stronger to deal with difficult things. Energy follows focus. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So it's an incredible... And then we come to this... some branches of Tibetan therapy, the first chapter, the first session, the first teaching, isn't mindfulness, and it isn't compassion. And then you might wonder what it is. And it's self-respect. So it's almost, it could be, today I choose to be self-respectful because it's good for my health. Like, how often, self-respect means caring, and emotional intelligence is about caring, not giving up, never giving up. Don't give up. Even though it's difficult, don't give up. Never lose your caring capability. So I think caring is a really important thing. If you care about yourself, you won't keep bad company, you won't eat bad things, you won't consume too much negativity of people around you. Sometimes we wouldn't treat a dog the way we treat ourselves. Isn't that not true? Because our social conditioning, our education system is often encouraging us to be self-critical. So in my mind I joke about this and thinking, are you in the critical wing of the hospital of your mind? Because so critical. And being self-critical is like so destructive, so self-destructive. So, and why are we self-critical? I think the real root reason is because we are trying to have it perfect. And all intellectually, we can all imagine a perfect world. But that's not reality. That's just a pipe dream. So, but what we can do is have a good attitude. Even if we can't make the world perfect, we can have a good attitude, which could eventually change the world. So, going forward, there's quite a lot of resources there that we'll share on the website. And Martina here has recorded the whole thing, so quite a lot of this will be, if you want to pick me up or if you've forgotten something, you can have 20-minute bursts of things from. So it's a proper little course, isn't it? Maybe we could have even a follow-up in January. I don't know. What would you like something like that? That's the question. Yeah. And or maybe something completely different that we could see. But the whole thing is like being a community. It's much more going forward rather than feeling today was an event. But if you take home even this self-awareness and self-mastery, that's a huge thing. And the most important thing probably is the sacred pause, to do half an hour's meditation a day if you can. It doesn't have to be all in one unit. And if you're a beginner, it could be 3 10-minute sessions. But all of the emotional intelligence is about giving yourself permission to stop. Stop. And there's an incredible aggressive quality to speed, that we're going from one goal to the other, like a fish choosing a brightly coloured hook, and then all we'll do is end up as a fish supper. If we keep on biting the hook of, I've got this goal, and then you've always got that remorse, but I've got this goal, but there's this other goal, and you're never satisfied. You're living in conditional land, like if I have this, then I'll be happy, and then when you've got that, you're still unhappy. And it's like a part of the brain that is conditional, that you're reinforcing. So stopping is allowing yourself the space to let go of aggressive, neurotic speed. And you can see clearly what is happening and go forward from there. Like putting the camcorder on a motorised tripod rather than on the back of a stallion at full speed, at full gallop. We must stop, just like we need 8 hours sleep a night in the 21st century with smartphones, with all of these digital things around. I think it's a necessity to have 20 minutes or half an hour a day where we stop, because these things are so fast, and all of Tibetan therapy is about restoring the balance. So that's the way to restore balance, just to stop, just because everybody else around you is speeding, you can be the real revolutionary, you can be the person who allows time to stop. So these planting white seeds in the morning and the evening, that could be some place to take it forward. And compassion, and there's links to on the excellent website, there's the links to Christine Neff, who's very good on self-compassion, and Rick Hansen, who's very good on neuroscience. And there's a free 1 A4 side once a week thing called Just One Thing from Rick Hansen, which is brilliant, so that you know the neuroscience that wasn't taught when you were at school, when any of us were at school. So there's so much out there, but it's caring enough to engage with it. So I think caring is a really important thing. Love yourself and the people around you enough to care. And So I want to maybe, does anybody have any burning questions before my last little bit? Okay. Even if we're not religious, we can access spirituality. So I'm going to do like a very short version of an exercise called RAIN. Who's familiar with RAIN? R-A-I-N. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm deliberately doing this and being quite humble. If you Google RAIN, there's lots of guided practices, especially the ones that are good by Jack Cornfield and Tara Brach. And I'll try and put this on the website as well.
There's
which one?
Pardon?
An app, the Insight app, has got all the meditations for reading.
The Insight app has got all it. So, but the thing is, this is 1,000 times better than any app. Just being in a physical room with people around us. But the RAIN, like if you run into emotional difficulty, some of you may not know this, but there are two kinds of meditation. There are wisdom meditations and there are compassion meditations. So the wisdom meditation could be, your mind is like the sky and all the rest is like weather. The clouds come and go through the sky, and just rest in the true nature of your mind of wisdom, like the sky-like wisdom nature of mind, okay? That's a wisdom meditation. And the thoughts are like clouds, the harmful emotions are like clouds. You just let them come and go freely. And that is an act of compassion, not to engage in taking sides or trying to shoot down the clouds that you don't like, or getting very clingy about the clouds that you do like. Are you still with me? Yeah. So, so it's like a gardener. You look at the poppies that have seeded from your next door neighbour's garden into yours, but you don't hack them down. You appreciate the beauty of the poppies that have self-seeded amongst all of your primulas and acrolegias, and you enjoy the garden without interference. You just accept it as it is. But the compassion meditation is more proactive. So something like RAIN is, supposing you do that for, say, a month, but something keeps recurring, some emotional difficulty keeps recurring, like a little bit of paranoia, say, or a feeling of unlovability or something. And then you can approach it, like just set yourself, say 20 minutes. We won't do 20 minutes because I'll let Rachel have a session here. So the formula is, you sit down and think, well, I'll work on this now, maybe, without any expectations, and then recognize, say, a feeling of I'm trying to think of an example here, but recognize, say, a feeling of always wanting things to be perfect and getting very unhappy. So then you accept it, you allow it to manifest. You don't say it's just another cloud in the sky, because this is a compassion meditation. You allow it to, you honor it, you allow it to manifest, and then you accept it as it is. And then you could investigate, maybe in your body, where does it resonate, where does it hurt in your body when you're constantly, maybe it gives you a headache, always wanting things to be perfect. Or maybe it gives you a heartache, wanting everything to be perfect. And then R-A-I and N is like natural presence. So it's like you imagine the sense of being held with, say, the golden light of universal compassion, and of feeling, nothing is perfect, everything is fine. And on one level, but on a deeper level, streaming in a sense of N is like for natural presence, a sense of remember who you really are and be the person that you're like destined to be. So embrace everything with the heart and the mind of a Buddha. So that this habit of perfectionism, don't let it dictate your future, but just see it in perspective. It's a little thing, it's a result of conditioning, and we can let it go. So you could feel the golden light helps you let it go, and feel at least that you're loved, and you could come out of the exercise being quite kind. So in a nutshell, that's the rain exercise. So that is very powerful, and you can use it in lots of ways. Like our bodies remember everything. Yeah, would you agree, Rachel? Yeah?
Yeah.
Our bodies remember everything, especially even childhood stuff. So as a child you can't deal with it, so it's like you squirrel it away in your body until a time where you can really face it and deal with it. So rain is a method for releasing maybe painful memories held in the body. And I think doing the rain, when I'm teaching it, I'd have the hands on the heart, so that there's this visceral sense of self-compassion while you're doing it. So you're opening up your heart to whatever in the past has been an obstacle for you. And you're not trying to get rid of it, but you're processing it. So harmful emotions or memories, you're not trying to suppress them with meditation or repress them or express them harmfully, but process them with wisdom and compassion. The wisdom side, this too will pass, they're all impermanent. The compassion thing, life is short, let's transform, turn the lead into gold or the mud into lotuses while we have the chance. Hey, so for me that's, I'll say a few sentences right at the end, but now it's over to my co-pilot here, and I won't go on to autopilot, I promise you. I will sit here and listen attentively. Thank you for listening.